Hey guys, what's up? Joker here. Little different setup, doing it from my iPad, but it should be fine. I mean, the lighting looks good. I think the sound is gonna be fine. I recorded one of my previous videos from my iPad just to test it out. But yeah, so I'm filming it at night. That's why I wanted to do it from my iPad. It has just better lighting, so that other way. Let's talk about the live letter that just happened. Past Friday. It was late. I didn't get to see all of it, but I read some rundowns and stuff like that, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'll leave links in the description of what I used. This is really good Reddit one that I had that has really good detail. I really appreciate what they did, and I want to shout them out for that. Users Vempai, so that they're on the Final Fantasy subreddit. Really shout out to them for doing that. Also, got some general big topic things that were run through. Now, what I want to talk about first is like how primary ability cooldowns will be shortened. It would be 60 and 120. Now, why they did that is so everybody is more synced up instead of having this weird 90-second cooldown where people are, you know, waiting, especially for Warrior. I mean, I saw with Warrior they fixed a lot of things with them to make them more tuned and maybe more viable as a tank to use. I haven't personally played Warrior, so I don't know exactly how they work out, but I've played every single tank besides Warrior. And what I've noticed is Warrior generally is not the tank people bring in on late game content. It will usually be Paladin or Gunbreaker, or people playing Dark Knight just because Dark Knight looks cool and they have the Darkest Night. Basically, that's my opinion. What I've seen too. I don't know if that's 100%, but uh, yeah. So there it is. It's just generally brought on, especially for that raiding content, for people to deal quicker damage, and also have that last second save instead of, man, now we have to wait for this guy to get his cooldown and he might die and not get the clutch save. I mean, I think plenty of people have seen this where it's like everybody's dead, there's like two or three people, and they just need that cooldown. They need that right perfect moment, and this is gonna help with that. I think generally that's fine. It's just a quality of life thing. Summoner, I'm not really gonna get into this. I'll just read what the write up has here. Getting a rework so that they actually can summon more than just Bahamut. And like Bahamut will, it says, according to Yoshi P, after performing the Bahamut summon, players will unchain these more powerful summons, and once all three have been used up, they will be replenished their summons by casting Phoenix. That sounds really cool. Don't generally know much about Summoner besides that their cooldowns are really long. Just like just it takes a long time to go through their what's it called, rotation. So that's really interesting. And what I've noticed in a lot of summoners too is they don't use other summons really. It's like you see Bahamut, but like I've heard, some people will use Ifrit. Yeah, I mean not heard. I've seen people will use Ifrit and stuff like that. But this gives a good chance to like flesh out the job and stuff like that. The Phoenix thing I think is really cool, leaning, and also the unchaining thing I think is also really sick. Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I'm going to play all these classes to 80, so I'm gonna be able to, know some parts of the jobs better. Tanks will be rewarded for using cooldowns collected. I think this is something that is needed to happen. Um, I feel like the only people who use cooldowns as tanks are sprouts, and that's kind of sad. I mean, sprouts or people who know how to pull, and there's this weird in between that you'll see where it's just like they're dying, the healer's dying because they're like, yo, I gotta heal this stupid tank because he doesn't know how to click reprisal or any of his cooldowns to heal himself. So this reward thing, I read about this. It doesn't really say how they're gonna be rewarded, but like I bet it's gotta be something to do with you take a little, probably a little more less damage, like when you stack your cooldowns, when you use reprisal or sentinel together, something like that. Maybe the percentage goes up even higher. That would be interesting to see. It also They also clarified saying there won't be a parry mechanic, which I think is good. I don't think there needs to be some timing mechanic to this. Otherwise, people are going to use it even less. Um, I mean, this is just a good thing in general. It encourages people. I use my cooldowns. I think I use my cooldowns at a terrible point when I pop wall and I pop reprisal and then I a pop sentinel or something like that. I've gotten better at it to where I like don't blast all of it at one time. I like do two at once and then wait 15 seconds or so. When wall's about to fall, I pop sentinel and I pop the other one. I can't remember its name. The other boo 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 barrier. um, Another big topic, Enochian and Dragon's Blood would be traits. Um, I just started Dragoon, and I don't know anything about Black Mage. This is what the write up says. Again, I'm including this down in the comments. This is just some good write ups. They give good points. With the cap moving to 92 major pieces that made Black Dragoon. It should be made, not mad. Black Mage and Dragoon a bit difficult to master, being turned into traits. Enochian will no longer be used, but instead will be automatically applied once effects of Umbral, Ice, and Astral Fire are active. This means access to Fire 4 and Fire 4 and Blizzard 4 will be more readily access to low skilled players. I think that's fine. But honestly, if you don't look at your rotation, I mean, like, you should be able to do high end moves, honestly, if you're maining a class. Similarly, Dragoon's Blood is being moved to trait, lower entry point for new Dragoons. While this will make fans happy, rarely use DPS jobs like these becoming easier to. That's a weird take. Really? Really? Dragoon and Black Mage rarely used? Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure nobody plays Monk or Ninja or Hell Summoner. I've seen way more Black Mages and Dragoons. Dragoon, definitely. I've seen a ton of Dragoons. That's a weird take right there. But this is fine. Just makes it easier for people to play a class that's divisive. I mean, I think it's fine. I think who cares, honestly. If you're lowering the floor, the ceiling's still gonna be high. I mean, obviously, people are gonna be masters at this. Healers are getting a bit more personality. I saw this, and I don't know what to think about it. Where they're splitting Sage in, I think, Scholar. Um, Let me see. It's on the Reddit one. Um, yes, Sage and Scholar are being split into barrier healers, and White Mage and Astrologian are pure healers. Um, I think this is something that you're just gonna have to see to understand. Let's just talk about it. So in battle adjustments and party PVE, that's happening. So in Raid Finder and Party Finder, you're gonna be able to split the categories, which I find kind of useless, to be honest. You already have the thing where it's like you can pick jobs. Um, so I don't know what the point of this is, where it's like, oh, I want a barrier healer or I want a pure healer. Um, I can't. I just don't understand what the point of that is. Um, Added option for players who have yet to receive weekly complete. I mean, this is just okay. Search results no longer show parties you cannot join due to one player per. Okay, that's helpful. I mean, it's not that really bad because really you don't see one player per job that often at all. Duty reward adjustments. Trials with weapon drops now drop weapon copper in addition to original weapon reward. Old fourth turn high end raids up through 3.x will now drop an additional weapon copper. That's good. High end raids up through 4.0 drop gear and accessory coffers. That's in it coffers. That's again just giving people rewards. Um, what is it, 4.0? That's Stormblood, right? So they were just dropping like materials and crap like that. I think that's and 3.0 was the same thing, so I think that's fine. Allows people to not spam a raid just to get the drop. I think that's fine. That's just a good quality of life thing. HUD, new category, conditional enhancements now separable from attachments. Again, good quality of a life thing. If you use it, if like people really like to get into the nitty gritty of fixing their HUD and stuff like that, I think that's fine. Improved ground targeting. Thank you, God. New character config settings. Press action button. Okay, now displays members' specific target when casting. Again, thank you. Health bars will remain displayed even when incapacitated. I think that's kind of weird, but okay. Unreal trials temporarily removed. Okay, that makes sense. You're not gonna have an Unreal trial until they pop it out, and those are only for the expansion. So like World Eater is specific to Shadowbringers. So belt removal. Oh, okay. So that's what they're doing. Oh, they're gonna go to the Calamity Scout Salvager. Okay, so at least you get something for it. Speed belt replaced with speed ring in Eureka. I haven't played Eureka. I want to play Eureka because the armor looks dope as fuck. The Dark Knight gear looks sick. Level 50 to 80 gear attributes is just talking about how their stats squishing it down. Enhanced Echo, man, I'm really curious. Like if this makes undersized content like a pain, I know it's gonna be a little harder. It's not gonna be easier. It's not gonna be the same. It's gonna be a little harder, and it just depends on how hard is it gonna be. Because then it's like, what's the point of doing old content? I mean, that's just gonna be what I think a lot of people think. Um, XP numbers squished. XP earned for normal dungeon mobs now earned from dungeon bosses. I think that's really interesting. Um, I think this is a change I think was happening previously before I started playing, is that poetics actually dropped from like a first boss. So people would like rush to that first boss, kill it, and then just doink out and get some poetics to farm for like anima or something like that. Your anima weapon. I think this is something that's kind of similar. It's like you don't just farm the mobs, you go get the boss. I'm fine with it. It's not really that big of a deal. You're gonna complete a dungeon to get even more XP, so not really the biggest deal in the world. Certain items no longer obtainable as high quality. Gathering mats, enemy drops, token exchange mats, non-craftable mats. High quality items available, crafted items, gear. High quality yielded gathering skills change to affect item yield. That's gonna be interesting. It's again there's not a much hyper detail. You're gonna need to see what is happening in the game. People are gonna need to see what's actually changed, and so there's not much there. Teleportation fee. I think this is something I was hearing. I mean, obviously, because you're gonna go to the moon. They were talking about this. You can't. I mean, it's already 999. So what are they gonna do? Because obviously the moon is further. Um, I'm real upper teleport, and they said this: the upper teleportation guild limit is removed. I wonder what is gonna happen, because I think if you're trying to teleport from Ul'dah to Yomer, I do think it's gonna be more. Um, actually, no, that's stupid. I think that is gonna be 999, and then the moon is gonna be like bigger. Um, and then I think Kugane is, if you're going from Ul'dah to Kugane, I think that's also gonna be a little lower than 999, like maybe 750 or something like that. I think if you're going from Ul'dah to Garlemald, because I think that's gonna be super far distance, that could be far. That could be like in the 800s or something. I think they're just gonna play with the range. I don't think um it's gonna be that high unless it's the moon. I think 999 is probably gonna be if you're teleporting to the first. I really hope they don't really fuck with this, because this is just like a silent guild killer that is just like annoying to deal with. I've noticed that a lot. And I think for people who are guild strapped somehow, it's gonna be a weird thing to deal with. Um, so yeah, Ethernet UI map display update. Thank God they needed to update it. It's so freaking confusing. I think I saw it in a screenshot where it's like they're all gonna be laid down in a list on the map, so it's gonna be easier to select. I think that's really good. Doing that. Fisher intuition. I don't fish, so I can't really comment on that. Data center scheduled um, for the data center travel. They keep pushing that back. That's also fine. Now let's get into the job changes. Uh, this goes into the cooldowns. Okay, so tank using defense buffs. Okay, that's what they're talking about. Range attacks no longer break combos. Okay, that's cool. Oh, finally. I mean, thank you. Physical magical damage parity balance. Okay, that's good too. Melee DPS feint change to reduce physical and magical. I'm gonna be honest with more physical damage reduction. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it just lowered all damage. I honestly thought Fate lowered all damage. I did not know it didn't do magical. So again, ranged attacks no longer break combos. Physical magical damage parity balance, kind of the same thing that tanks got. Now for physical ranged, again that same parity. They're just across the board. You're just seeing it. They're just trying to add parity to physical and magical, so it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to just do this combo to do more damage. Why would I do the other combo? That's physical. Um, at least for paladins, what I do is I do physical, then I go into my magical. But I feel like magical does more damage. It's just the topper, and especially since paladins, you don't have a lot of magical abilities to use. You're not gonna really. It doesn't, honestly. It doesn't even matter too. You can just swap them back and forth. Like some people I've seen in a rotation guide, where it's the magicals first, and then you can just go into your physical after. Um, Now class changes. Um, Now this one compiled is not just from the live letter. It's all changes that are happening. So it's just good to go over, especially for me, since it's like this is my first live letter I'm actually like live into looking at. Um, Dragoon Disembowel is now included in AoE rotation. Thank you, I guess. I haven't gotten to the AoE rotation of Dragoon, but Disembowel is kind of like a weird step. It's kind of like acting like Gore's Blade for Paladins. Like that's what I interpret it as. So it's like, okay, added an additional action at the end of main combo rotation. That's cool. Spine Shatter Dive now has 2 charges. So I saw this where Gunbreaker is getting a third charge into the third cartridge. I'm pretty sure it's probably something similar like that. You're moving higher in your level, so I mean, at least for Gunbreaker, what I'm interpreting that is just another, like rotation, set of skills that's gonna take that charge, or it's just gonna be, hey, you can just do an additional charge attack, which is still good, in my opinion. It's just more damage, um, which I think is also goes in the fact of, hey, you're level 90 now, you're gonna need to do a little more damage. So yeah. Now we look at this lance charge 60 seconds, battle litany 120. Haven't been there. Sounds cool. Blood of the Dragon is now a trait. Again, that's what I was talking about earlier. uh, Warrior damage up effects triggered refreshed by AoE combos. Onslaught upheaval no longer drain beast gauge. Added new action following inner release. Onslaught now has 3 charges, kind of similar to what I was talking about with Gunbreaker. Getting that extra charge. Red Mage added new action after Scorch. Ver Flare, Ver Hurley, Scorch changed to AoE. Part of AoE rotation. That is interesting. I think I like that. um Ver Hurley, Ver Flare, and Scorch I thought was like weird for them to be kind of like a single target attack, because they're like magic attacks, so it's like, why aren't they like these big boom attacks? And I think that just adds more AoE into Red Mage, which I think is good. Added defense party wide enhancement, that's good. Reduced mana cost, always, dude, that's always good for Red Mage. I mean, dude, if you're running out of mana as a Red Mage, please just stop playing the class. uh, Scholar, unique job skill to increase party movement. Okay. Scholar got nothing. Dark Knight, Salted Earth now activates immediately around you. Thank you, so I don't have to freaking waste my time targeting it. Similar Kurum gains a new action. Added single target defense buff. Okay. Plunge range +5 yarms. Yeah, that's cool. Make people use plunge more. Delirium CD reduces 60 seconds. Oh, thank God. Yes. I think it was at 90 seconds, so that's good. Um, Dancer. Again, I've just started to play Dancer. Effects like Flourish and Cascade now shared across single target and AoE skills. Added new actions after technical finish, improvisation, devilment. Cool. Um, Machinist. Chainsaw. Added new action for automation. Queen. Added shotgun AoE action. That sounds dope. Reassemble now is 2 charges. Oh, so that means you get your bot back quicker, I think. Gunbreaker, Savage Claw, and Wicked Talon swap in for Gnashing Fang one button combo. That's cool. Yeah, that was so annoying just having like a one button combo, because then it's like, okay, then I have to just use this. So it's good to just add more. Now available using continuation following burst strike. Okay, and then like I talked about, getting a third cartridge. Bard, each song adds a party-wide enhancement. Cool. Added a new action of the Apex Arrow. Okay. Wander's Minute, Battle Voice adjusted the match 120 seconds. Song's duration increased to 45 seconds. I think Bard is not going to be a class people use over Dancer still, even with those things. What I've seen is Dancer moved up just as much as Bard. And I feel like people are still going to just use Dancer as a support DPS. Is in later in content. Astrologian, I'm just going to skip. I'm not a healer. Samurai, they basically made Samurai god tier damage, which is like, okay, Samurai just gets to do more damage. Third Eye now grants 10 Kenki. I think that's cool. Third Eye was kind of a useless ability you only clicked when you wanted to heal. Wanted to do more healing, so I think that's good, making Third Eye more useful as an ability. If you needed that 10 Kenki, like I play Samurai pretty brokenly, and I always max out on my bar. These 2 words I don't know how to pronounce now have 2 charges, so I don't need, I literally go by how the button looks when I play Samurai, because I just do not know how to. Added a new action in Aijutsu. Oh, so there's like a 4th one now in Subugaishi. Oh, so now there's a different one. See, those 2 I know because I clicked them the most. That's what it seems like. You got a 4th Aijutsu now, and then Tsubame Gashi, you get a 2nd one now. That seems kind of interesting. And then Jinpu and Shifu now apply to AoE combos. Again, that's just good. You just supposed to go like Super Saiyan and just like yeet on people now as Samurai, even harder. White Mage, you do more healing. Added a higher tier of Holy. That's interesting. That's gonna be more Holy spammers. Black Mage apparently makes Ice very useful. Sage, you're a fucking healer. Monk, you still have positionals. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I feel bad for monks. Because I know Samurai's got theirs removed, I think, last patch. So, in Shadowbringers. So, or Dragoon, or both. That just sucks that monks are stuck with positionals. That's why, honestly, that's why I think nobody plays monk. Because of positionals. You have to keep worrying about that. You get a jump though. Added a jump with 3 charges. That's cool. Summoner basically makes people not spam Bahamut only. Probably gets to use all the other ones. Reaper is going to be a class I play. Out of those 2, I'm definitely going to be playing Reaper after I get Paladin at 90. I probably will just also wait until I finish the story. Has an avatar clone which uses your attacks plus more, grants party enhancements. Soul gauge is used to build up different attacks. Shroud gauge lets you transform and use avatar abilities. Gate used to teleport both forward and backwards. So Reaper is kind of like a mix of the attacking of like Dragoon, but also you can buff your party like a bard. And then Paladin Requisite now equally effective regardless of remaining MP. I'm gonna be honest, I did not know Requisite was determined by MP, like the amount of MP you had, because I always used it, and I was always taught to use it when you have just as an opener, so you have your full MP already. I never really thought of it. 3-attack combo using Confiteor. I saw that 3-attack combo. That looked so sick. I cannot wait to use that move. I'm gonna hit people. I'm gonna smack people even harder with Confiteor. Intervene range now plus 5 EO arms. Cool. Intervene. Okay. Oh yeah, that's just basically the same thing as punch. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't know why I just tried to use my laptop screen like a Mac, but yeah, there it is. Those were all the things that are announced at the live letter. I think honestly, it's gonna be interesting. Um, Looking at the stat squish, I am really curious about how unsync content is gonna work. The teleportation fees, I think I'm gonna be really curious to see how that works too. I know they were talking about this. I'm pretty sure the moon is gonna be like 1200. I could see the moon easily being 1200. I'd be surprised if stuff on the planet are gonna be higher than 999. Again, them taking that limit fee off, I mean, that limit makes me wonder if it's just the moon is going to be higher than 999 or is more things going to be higher. um I think honestly a lot of classes got good stuff and monk got fucked. So basically that's what my takeaway is about it. I can't wait to play Paladin. That combo looked sick. I think Dragoon is just easier to play now, and same with Samurai. Both of them just got buffs to where it's like, oh, it's just easier to deal a shitload of damage. Um, I think what was really weird was the whole barrier thing, like the barrier and white mage split. But yeah, this was a long video. I thought it was gonna be a long one. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I think these are good changes. I think it's gonna be interesting when people get in and use the different characters, get in there and actually calculate new rotations and stuff like that. What's gonna happen, especially since we're gonna be at 90, we're gonna have more abilities. We're gonna be stat squished down, so that's gonna also be a factor. I saw, a level 9. I think he was playing a level 90. That other guy next to Yoshi P. Um, and he was under 100,000 health. That was disgusting. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out. Comment which class you think is gonna suck the hardest. I think it's gonna be Monk because you have to deal with freaking positionals. But yeah, take care and I'll see you guys later. Bye.